Brother Justin, for letting me come up and speak today. And today I'm going to talk about being a witness. Does anybody know what the word witness means? Yes?
Isn't it someone who sees something that happened?
Yes, I'm looking for a little bit of a different one. I'm talking about, it's about talking about God to other people. Okay, I'm going to tell you some ways to be a witness. Showing love, kindness, and you talking about God. You barely even have to talk about Him. I mean, just living it. Okay, I'm going to read James 4:8. Draw near to God and He will draw near to you. Just remember that. Okay. First, to be a witness, you have to know God. You have to know God. Because if you don't know God, what can you say to Him? Next, I'm going to tell you a story. It's called A Girl Helps a Mighty Man. So this girl, this lady that you see, not the little girl, but the lady, she is, I don't remember what they are, but her and Naaman, their city, did not live for God. Naaman, her husband, got this Israelite girl. So she was a girl who witnessed, and she loved God. She was not something that this lady and her husband were. So the sad part about this story is that her husband, Naaman, he had a thing called leprosy. Leprosy were these big, big whelps on you, big, huge whelps. Sometimes it could get really bad. So bad that they send you out of the city with all the other lepers. They call them lepers. So the girl in the picture, she witnesses to Naaman's wife. She tells them, "Oh, I wish you could go to my prophet. I wish you could go see him. He would tell you what to do to be healed." So Naaman's wife went to Naaman, and the prophet, back in the old days, the prophet is the same thing as a pastor. So the pastor said, go dip down in the river Jordan 7 times. So Naaman goes there. He was actually kind of arguing with him. And I'll tell you why, because think of him, he's like a chief. Think of him really royal. He was very, very important. So he was like, I could go, I'm not dipping in that, but I could go dip in the other one, because this was dirty and muddy. But his little helper says, "My Lord, I know you should not be doing this. I agree, you should not be doing this. But why don't you try? Because you could die in 2 more days." It was really, really bad. So he goes, the 7th time he dipped down, he came up and he was healed. And it was all because this little girl. Now, I have a witnesser in my life. It was me, Roman, and Jude's great-grandma. So say she was a big witnesser. Say she was going through the store, and she'll find a person. Isn't it a beautiful day? But she will say this: "Isn't it a beautiful day? God made this beautiful day." She would always slip God into the conversation. She wouldn't just talk randomly. She would always kind of just slip God in the middle. She was like a celebrity of God. People would, even in the store, come around, big groups, and ask her questions about God. And sometimes even they would come to her house and say, "Coralea," I was named after her, so Miss Coralea, "will you pray for my family?" And that day in the house, they got the Holy Ghost.
Wow, thank you, Jesus.
And one thing, I wouldn't say thousands, but hundreds of people would get the Holy Ghost in their house. They had 11 children. And one more thing, I'm almost done. One more thing about being a witnesser. to yourself. That's the thing about being a witness. You have to give the credit to God. You can't give the credit to yourself. You like, if you have something and turn it to yourself, you can't you can't do that because it's God who did it. It's God.
Amen.
So, it's just always good. Like what my great grandma did. It's always good to just, if you're talking with someone, having a conversation with them, it's just always good to be a witness. So, I just want you guys to remember to always be a witness here.
Amen.
Awesome, guys. That was so good.